Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you're enjoying this lovely sunny Tuesday after a bank holiday. Well, it's sunny up in Newcastle. Hopefully it's nice where you are as well. Let's make it a bit brighter by today discussing nominal codes. Now we're rerunning this management reports webinar series. It was so popular, we decided to put it on again for those that you may have missed some of the sessions. So today is going to be number 1 in this series. And my name is Matt. I'm going to be presenting the information for you today. It's scheduled to start at 11 o'clock and it may run up to 45 minutes. My expectations are around about 30-35. But what are we going to be covering? Let's have a quick look. So first off, we're going to have an introduction to the nominal ledger, a couple of slides on that. Then we're going to have a look at the different nominal code types, because there are different types. We're also going to be looking at the nominal structure, how to set up a new nominal code. Then we're going to be looking into the nominal record itself and what you can do within that section. Today's going to be a high-level view, just to start you off with the management report series. All of the content that we're covering off today is going to be gone into in more detail in individual webinars throughout the series and throughout the week for you as well. Then we'll run through a summary and we'll have a look at the extra support at the end. As always, that's available. And we've got a lovely video to show you as well for our upcoming VAT badge. So stay tuned for that at the end, please. That would be wonderful. Now, if you've been here before, you'll know the rules. If you don't hear the rules, essentially, your microphone is muted automatically. So as I always say, if you want to sing along with the radio, cough or sneeze, you are not going to interrupt us whatsoever. So do not worry. You can also download the handout available in black and white and in colour. In there is going to be some helpful links to the resources that we use. Download it now is my advice, because then you won't forget. Now, a copy of the recording will be sent to you in an email, follow-up email after this as well. So if you do have to pause or mute me for whatever reason, don't worry. You will be sent a copy also. Not just that, there is a speech bubble there with a question mark inside, and that is for you to ask questions. Today, we are joined by the wonderful Jackie and the equally wonderful Michael, and they'll be here to answer any questions that you have throughout the session. They prioritise answering questions about the subject matter before anything else. So if you do have something that's slightly off subject or off piste, then it may be answered near the end or followed up with after. We will try and answer as many as we possibly can. Again, if we run out of time, we will send you an email afterwards. Superb. So without further ado, let us begin. The nominal ledger. So what do we mean? Nominal ledger. So obviously it's a module in your Sage 50 account on the left-hand side there, as you can see on the illustration in front of you, and it's where the nominal codes live. Now, a nominal code is assigned to every single transaction that is processed within your Sage 50 accounts, and it is used to categorize the values that you input in your transactions for your reports, so that when you run a report, you are confident that the values you want to see are where you want and need to see them. So usually it is a 1 nominal code per transaction, but sometimes there's 2. So this could be, for example, if you're posting a bank receipt, you'll key in the full value of the bank receipt, i.e. where you want it to go, the nominal code, but then there's other things that are going on in the background that Sage is taking care of for you as well. So there's another couple of postings. I'm going to be going to those in a bit of detail in a couple of slides' time. Now, the nominal codes are organised by the chart of accounts COA, as it's represented there on the slide, and that produces your management report, so your trial balance, profit and loss, balance sheets, etc. Now, there's 2 ways you can view your nominal codes as well. You can view them as they are. The left-hand side there is a list, analyzer, sorry, or you can view them as a list, which is what mainly I think people use as default. But when I go into the demonstration, I'll show you both of those and what they look like. It may change your mind. You may change it to analyzer so you can have a bit of a further view of the figures that lie beneath the code itself. Now, I did mention there are different types of nominal codes. So what are they? I hear you asking. Well, these are them. So we've got 3 different. We have a bank account, which is a nominal code, which is created in the banking module as a bank nominal code, and it sits on that left-hand side under bank accounts. We have a controlled account, and the nominal code's used when automatic postings are made in the background. What I briefly mentioned before about the bank receipt, we're going to see a controlled account in action in the next slide, just to explain that a bit further detail. Finally, the third type is a nominal account. So all standard nominal codes within the software, which aren't bank or control accounts, by default are just a nominal account. Again, with these three, there are differences in how you create them correctly. I'm going to be going through that in the demonstration again. And if you want to follow along in the demonstration, you can do, because I'm going to be using demonstration data, which is the company built into the software, and you can have a click along with me at the same time. So, control accounts, the nominal codes used when automatic postings are made. So there's the debtors, creditors, control accounts. What do we mean? So control accounts with the nominal codes, as I said before, used when automatic postings are made. So if I was to post a £120 credit, the full £120 would go to your debtors control account. £100 would go to your sales code, and maybe £20 to your sales tax control account. And that all happens in the background using the control account. Now, you can't delete a control account. You can potentially amend it if there's no associated activity to there. So if you haven't posted in one of your nominal codes you had for your control accounts, you may be able to adjust it, i.e. your debtors control, you could change that to 1101, for example. But again, only if there is no activity in there. Once a code has been used and there's activity in there for a control account, it cannot be changed. And what you see in front of you there is pretty much the defaults. However, if you have customized your nominal codes, you might be seeing something slightly different. But again, I would speak to the architect of that structure if you need any information. At Sage, we majoritively use the defaults anyway. Now, you'll see as well, the right-hand side image, you've got exchange rate variance, and it is blank. That is because that nominal code is used for foreign trader, which is an add-on, a module that you can use within Sage 50 accounts. Now, if I was to activate that additional module, I would then have to assign a nominal code to that exchange rate variance. Sage would help me with that by giving me an example or a suggestion of what it should be, but that is why you see a blank there. So if you open your nominal codes by having a look at settings, control accounts, and you see any blanks, more often than not, it's because you don't use that area of the program. Nice and simple, nice and simple. So let's have a visual of that background posting that I've been talking about. So in front of you here, you'll see the transaction, the nominal code is 4,100. The gross of £120 of this is being posted to the debtors control account. The sales code, 4,100, £100 is going there. And then you've got your sales tax control account, of which £20 is being sent. And that's all done in the background for you. So you don't have to come out and do that manually. Sage is taking care of that. And it basically takes care of your double entry bookkeeping. Not going to get too much into the mechanics of that. This is just to show you what Sage is doing in the background. Some people are interested in what Sage is doing in the background, and this is one of those examples where we can demonstrate it to you, just for a better understanding, really, of what the software is doing. So for me, the control accounts are sorting out the transactions, sending values to the nominal codes that require the details. So again, that when I run my report, it's there. The information is there for me, structured and organized. Now, the nominal structure. Let's have a quick look at the nominal structure. By default, again, if you've customized it, you may want to speak to the architect of that customization, but by default, this is what you'll see. Nominal codes are 4 digits by default. If you start to lengthen nominal codes, you can run into confusing areas of the program when you're running your reports. So we really don't delve into that again. If that has happened in your program, it may be a customization thing done by somebody who designed it. Speak to them primarily first. For any further assistance on that, speak to our live chat or our tech team, and we'll try and help you out as much as possible. But by default, 4 digits is where it lies with ourselves. They're grouped together again for reporting purposes, and they are arranged as you see on the right hand side. I'm not going to sit and read that list out for you. What I would do is either look in your program or download the handout, and it's going to be there for you. Now, these ranges can be, and majority are, subcategorized, so you can really get into finer detail when you're running your reports. And that can be amended using the chart of accounts. And in the demonstration, I'm going to show you that. And I'm going to show the importance as well when you consider your structure, nominal code structure, putting the values where you need them. Because it is very important. You don't want random figures appearing in random places. So it is important to consider the structure when you're adding a new nominal code. And that's what we're going to do. I think the best thing now is to go into the demonstration so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And you can maybe click along if you are. Once we've done the demonstration, we'll go through a recap of everything that was covered in the demonstration as well, just in case you've got any further questions. So let's have a look at page 50 then. There we are. So as you can see, at the top of my screen here, I am in demonstration data. So if you want to click along, do that. Just quickly, if you wanted to check your control accounts, settings and control accounts are just here. And then that will bring up the control accounts window. And as that picture showed before in the slides, blank here by exchange rate variance. But let's head into nominal codes themselves. So this is where they're all housed. This is where they all lie. So as you can see, the nominal code numbers on the left-hand side, the name, if they're inactive or not, and then the debit and credit amount as well. What we're going to do today in the demonstration is we're going to look at creating a new code. And what I want to focus on is my sales area. So from 4,000 onwards. Now, what I want to do is I want to create a product code of 4101 for a new division. And again, this is just a demonstration. And I'm going to set it up for Northern Ireland. And it's for my product sales in that region. So what I'm going to do is first off, draw your attention to here and here. I already have some nominal code set up. And to demonstrate the importance of picking the correct nominal code and number of where it's going to live for your reports, I'm going to make an accidental error. Well, I'm going to do it on purpose for the sake of demonstration, but it'll just show you the importance of where you place your nominal code, if you're with me. So first off, I'm going to say, I'm going to set up a new nominal code, 4,101 for Northern Ireland for my product sales in that region. It is not occupied at all. There is no 4101. It goes to 4100 and then 4200. So I know that all that is free. But is it the right subcategory for my reports? How do I check that? And this is where you become wary of the subcategories. What I'm going to do to check before I create it, I'm going to do a bit of investigation to see if it's the right thing to do. I'm going to click on my chart of accounts, because remember, this is what dictates the structure and how you see everything. Click on chart of accounts once, click edit. You may have many chart of accounts in here. Again, if you do, speak to the architect of those chart of accounts. We're going to focus on default for this presentation. Jack is going to go into chart of accounts in great detail with you tomorrow in what will be her final webinar presentation with us. So please attend and show Jackie your gratitude for everything that she's done. But for today, we're just going to be going into a brief demonstration. Now, click edit, and that will open up the chart of accounts. And this is the structure. So right-hand side, we're not too concerned with. They're all X's. It's just a demonstration of what it's going to be looking like. And you can see you've got your profit and loss in your balance sheet here. Each house the nominal code and then the subcategories underneath. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you have already noticed, if I was to pick 4101 for my new product sales, it would fall out of this capture group here, 4,000 to 4,099. And it would actually fall into a subcategory 4101. So it would be registered as export sales. So that if I was to select that 4101 code, my reports would look incorrect because the values wouldn't be where I need to see them. So now through this investigation, I know that I need to put something between 4,000 and 4,099. I chose a glaringly obvious error for you all to see there, just so that you could get the gist of what I was saying. Sometimes it could be a bit more intricate depending on how you're setting up your nominal codes, but just to emphasize the importance of having a look before you do. Look before you leap, as they say. So what I've learned is that I need to put my product sales between 4,000 and 4,099. So that is what I'll do. So I'm going to close this now that I've done that investigation, and I'm going to close the chart of accounts and return back to this window. Now, once I've returned to this window, I know now that I'm going to have to use a nominal code which is below 4099. It makes sense to have 4005, as you can see. It was always quite obvious for us all, but again, just for demonstration purposes, we're going to use 4005 for my Northern Ireland product sales. How would I create that? There's a couple of different ways. First thing I want to do is the good old swap clear. And this is to make sure that I haven't got any random nominal code selected, especially with my Sage selection style. It is quite possible that I may have accidentally clicked on something up here while scrolling down to here, and then I can't see it. So by using swap clear at the top of your screens here, swap and clear, I highlight everything and clear it. So now I know I've got nothing secretly selected or accidentally selected, shall we say. So what I can do to create this new nominal code, I could select sales north at the top there, 4,000. And then automatically, as soon as I've made that highlight, that selection, up here, we've got the word duplicate. If I was to click on that, it would exactly duplicate the record of north, as you can see here. I have to manually type in the code I've selected, 4005. And then I would change the detail here. So let's just be quick and say sales Northern Ireland. And it will copy the structure of sales north. And all I'm doing is changing the nominal code and the name. Quite simple, quite easy to do. Not going to do it that way. Going to be demonstrating different ways you can do this. The other way, second way, is to create from new. So again, you may have guessed that new button there. If I click on there, it opens up the nominal record. And as soon as I start typing again, it'll bring up this kind of arena, 4005. Again, manually typing in the information, which would be sales, Matthew spelling, Northern Ireland. There we are. And that would create the nominal record from scratch. Is there a better way? Yes, there is a better way. And the better way is to follow the wizard. And I always say in the majority of my webinars, follow the wizard when you can, because Sage will then automatically do the majority of the work for you. So I click on wizard, and automatically it brings up a new nominal code entry. So what I would do here is I would type in to the right hand side, sales, NI, maybe shorten it. It already knows in my sales nominal code. It's put it in the subcategory of product sales for me, and it is suggested 4005. It is taken away a lot of human error that could have intervened when I was creating this nominal code, especially when it comes to ranges. Okay, so sales NI, sales nominal code there. If I was to select purchases, it would change. Direct expenses, it would change, etc., etc. So just making sure you're in the right type here, and it would automatically make the suggestions for you. So now we're at 4005 for the nominal code, taking out the human error. Then, once I've clicked next, it'll prompt me if I want to enter an opening balance or not. I'm just going to say it's a new department, again, for this demonstration. So I'm going to continue with no opening balance. Once I hit create, Sage will refresh, and you will see it there, sales NI. Now, there's no activity in this one, so it can be deleted and reused. What I would say, if I was to post activity in it and then decide to delete the nominal code, and then in months' time reuse the same number, 4005, I would have to be careful, because there may be residual values lying somewhere that could affect my reporting. So another top tip from me is that if you are going to be creating new nominal codes, try and use a new code. Don't try and recycle the old ones because you never know where residual numbers may be in your reporting altogether. Also, what I can do is I've changed my mind and I don't like it being sales NI. So I'm going to double click in here and I'm just going to change this title here, which I'm well within my rights to do without affecting anything whatsoever. It will tell me in this nominal record, the name, the account type, as well as nominal account, balances, actuals, and also budgets if you're using budgets will be lying in there also. Click save, and that's it. That's how easy it is to create a new nominal record. These three buttons at the top here, new, wizard, and duplicate at the same time. Now you saw when I opened up the nominal record there, it says nominal account at the side. It's quite important to note that, and I'll tell you for why. So if we click into bank account here, and this is where we create a banking nominal code. This is the difference in types as we discussed before, remember? We had a banking nominal code, and we had a standard nominal code, and we have control accounts. So I have a nominal range here, 1200 to 1240. But I was sure that I'd created a new nominal code for my banking. And if I go to my nominal codes back here to do a bit of investigation, and I scroll to that range, 1200, I could see, yes, I did, 1201. I created a second bank account for my current account. Why isn't that in my bank accounts module? Simple answer. I created this nominal code in the nominal codes module, in this module here. So when I double click into this module, into this nominal record, sorry, you can see it says nominal account. It shouldn't say that if I'm using a bank account. If I click into my 1200, account type bank account, that's what it should say. And if it's not saying that and it's saying nominal account, it's not been created as a banking nominal account. Hopefully that's clear. I haven't posted anything against this nominal record here, so I'm just going to delete it essentially. And I can do that by just right click, delete. And I'm going to start again, creating this nominal record. And how am I going to do that? Well, because it's going to be a banking nominal record, I'm going to click on bank accounts. And I'm going to click on new. And I'm going to type in 1201. And it says new account. And I will put new account current. Once I've typed in the detail and any balances that I need to type in, click save, close, and there we have it, 1201. If I go to nominal codes, 1201. So now when I double click in this nominal record, it says bank account. Another top tip from us there is always create your bank account in the bank accounts module. Nominal codes, create them in the nominal codes module. Again, hopefully that's nice and clear for you all. Now, the other thing I wanted to look at was the nominal record itself. What information can we get from there? What can we do in there? So again, I'm going to pick on my sales nominal codes, and I'm going to pick on sales north because there's information and activity in there. And if I was to double click into this record, it will open in front of me the nominal record itself. Nice and easy. And on the left-hand side, we've got options. Okay, so the first screen that we see is the detail, and that's what we're in. Gives us the nominal code, the name, if it's inactive or not, obviously the balance, and the account type itself. So this is a control account. So if we have a look down here, we can see the actuals, and we can also see the month and how it's been set up. This is the basic detail whenever you click into any nominal record. To the left, we have memo. And this is where you could add attachments if you wanted to. Maybe you've got a statement for a bank record, or an invoice, or a letter, or even as simple as a memo that you want to attach in here. This is where you would display all that information. Clicking on that attachment. Or if there is attachments populating, open attachment. Quite self-explanatory at the top there, so I'm not going to dwell too much into that. Activity. This is the main one I would say to use. So if you want to investigate a nominal code, its activity and its history, and what's been going on within there. If you were to double click into that nominal code, highlight activity, you can see what has been posted and when. So we've got sales invoices here, the dates, the references. It makes investigation into your figures a lot easier, being able to double click into this kind of information, because there's a wealth of information in here that you can glean from as to what's been going on. Not only that, if it is sales invoice, for example, click this arrow here and it'll take you directly to that invoice. So you can investigate that in particular. So activity, underused in my opinion, and if you can't start using it while you're having an investigation into your figures, brilliant. You're going to get loads of information in here. And finally, probably the most underused part of the nominal record is graph. We all love visuals when we're learning, and when you're learning about your figures and your numbers and what's been going on, sometimes graphs are easier to look at. It gives you an instant impression of what's been going on. Now, as you can see in my activity, there's a lot been going on in here, but when I click on graph, there's nothing, and that's because I haven't set it up yet. So don't worry if you are clicking along with me and yours is blank as well. It just means you haven't followed these next steps. And that is when you would click on options. When you click on options, it will ask you what you want to select here. Actuals, prior year, just prior year, or just actuals. If you're using budgets, you can also put a tick in the budgets box as well. And once you click OK, look what happens. Lovely visual of what's been going on. Your priors and your actuals, you can have it in a line graph as well. Once you've done that once, it's then set up for that nominal code. Again, it's probably not something that you're going to sing and dance about, but it's something that when you open that side of the program and you've never seen before, at a glance, that tells me what's going on. So again, underused in my opinion. If you do want to start using it, as you can see how easy it is to do so, all you've got to do is click on the options button. For the sales south, again, graph, it's now set up there. See, nice and easy to do. Also check on the activity that's here. So that is the nominal record. That is the whole, in its whole entirety of what you can do within there without going into too much detail of the customization. Pretty simple to use. Again, following the wizard and following the tips that I've shared with you throughout that demonstration, you're not going to go far wrong. Now, just to summarize what we look at, we'll have to go back to the slides here. We looked at the profit and loss. Again, not to go into too much accountancy talk with you, because I'm sure that you all know this, but the profit and loss is to show you if you're making a profit or a loss, essentially. And that's how it's set up on the right-hand side of your chart of accounts, which again, Jackie's going to go through with you in great detail tomorrow. The balance sheet as well also is within your chart of accounts, and you can see it has the categories and subcategories, very much like the P&L, profit and loss, and that is used to see the value of the business at any given point in time. You can customize these, you can change these. Again, write down your questions that you've got for it now and ask them tomorrow. They're going to be fantastically answered by us all in that particular webinar. We looked at the nominal code setup. So you had three options: new, duplicate. The best option, in my opinion, is wizard, because that's a step-by-step guide. Basically takes you through the whole process, removes a lot of human error out of there as well. When creating a bank account, it always is best and advised to do that from the banking module. Otherwise, you're just creating another nominal account. That's the top tip from that section there. We do get a lot of calls on that, and that is the reason why. The nominal record itself and its uses, we've just been through that as well. The detail that holds the nominal record details for you, the memo for any attachments that want to be added, and the activity underused, all the activities recorded in that window for that nominal code. So if you're looking for a transaction for a nominal code and it isn't there in activity, it's probably not being assigned to that nominal code. It's a good clue. Also, filters can be applied in there as well. The graph, underused, in my opinion, gives you an instant visual on that nominal code and its history and its health as to what's been going on inside of it. So now We know that nominal codes are used for every transaction to categorize transactions for reporting. We also know it's very important to consider the subcategory, what code you wish to use, because you want the values in the right places. The out-of-the-box nominal structure is what we've demonstrated today. So the standard default codes are there. You may have designed your own, or your accountant may have designed their own. If so, speak to them about its structure if you've got any questions. Failing that, you can always contact us and we will try our best to go through it with you. But it's probably always going to be the first option to speak to who designed it first. Control accounts, we now know that they cannot be deleted, and they're used for the automatic postings and transactions in the background of the software. We give you a quick look behind the curtain of that one to show you how it worked. And then finally, again, because we do get call drivers on it, if you are creating a bank nominal code, do it within the banking module. Best way to do it. Now, as I mentioned, we are rerunning the management reports webinar series, and this was number 1. Nominal records, a nice soft introduction into the rest of the badging event that we have. Remember, you have to attend 5 of the 6, including the quiz. The quiz is an absolute must in order to achieve that badge for your Accredible account. Put it on your LinkedIn, have it on your CV, show people that you are now qualified in management reports 2025 and Sage 50 accounts. It is something to brag about, in my opinion, most certainly. Another thing to brag about would be to have the same badge for VAT. And I'm going to play you a short video now, and I'll be back with you in just a moment.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael and I'm here to tell you about our upcoming series of VAT proficiency webinars. Session 1 focuses on tax codes. Do you understand the difference between T0, T2 and T9? It's a common support query. If not, come along and we'll get you up to speed. Session 2 looks at preparing and running through the VAT return wizard up to the reconciliation stage. Session 3 follows on very closely from this as we run through the tasks in step 3 of the VAT return wizard. These include posting VAT transfer journals, entering your payment or receipt, and of course the process of submitting your return online to HMRC. In session 4 we'll highlight some of the most common queries that we regularly support our customers with. And in session 5 we'll dive into the VAT verification checks that form part of the VAT return wizard. Session 6 explores the process of checking your VAT return using the key reports that are available in Sage 50 accounts. Our final session looks at corrections, and if you need to post one, what the impact is. As you can see, there's a wide range of topics available.
And don't forget our mandatory quiz. Attend 6 of the 7 topics plus the quiz to earn your badge. These sessions run from the 9th to the 20th of June. As usual, these are free to attend. All you have to do is visit our registration page and get yourself registered. Once you earn your badge, you can share your achievements through our new badging platform, Accredible. Get yourself registered and we'll see you there.
There we are. What a lovely video that was. So register for the VAT badging event when you can. It's going to be an exciting one, and it's going to be an incredibly popular one. We can already see it coming, just like this was. That's why we ran it again in the same year. We don't usually do that, but because of the demand, we always say we will do what we need to do in order to give you the knowledge that you need to perform your day-to-day activities. What also helps you with your day-to-day activities within Sage is our help centre, sage.co.uk/help. So within there, you can search the knowledge base, find the support guides that you need. There's also links to the webinars that we've done in the past. So before we had, last week we had somebody mention that sometimes they put the webinars on in the background like a podcast. And if they want to have a look at the demonstrations, they do. And I think that's an excellent thing. I mean, who needs a radio when you can listen to myself or Jackie or Michael? It's brilliant. Other than that, though, if you do have questions that can't be answered by a webinar for some strange, wonderful reason, please get in touch with us. We have chat support, and we also have telephone support as well if you have a subscription. I believe the guys have been all over the questions. They look like they have all been answered. Can't see any further coming in. So without further ado, what I will do is thank you for your attendance today as well. We do have surveys at the end of every webinar. If you could complete them for us, just to let know what went well, or what you'd like to see in future webinars, maybe topics that we haven't covered that you want to see covered, maybe ideas for future badging events as well, what you think could be popular. We read absolutely every single comment that you set in, and we work from that. So your feedback is vital. So please complete that. That would be wonderful. Other than that, hopefully we shall see you tomorrow. Remember, it is going to be Jackie's final webinar on the Chart of Accounts, so please attend and let her know how grateful we all are for the support and knowledge she shared with us over the years. I will leave you to your lovely sunny day. Bye for now.